A lot to go over, a lot of wrestling to review. We're going to get some questions in and who knows what else. I want to ask you a quick question here at the start. You know, right now the Mets...
Oh, Jesus.
Listen, hear me out. The Mets, the wonderful miracle Mets, are in the playoffs. They're about to go to the championship series. This has all been great for us as Met fans. If they win the championship series, they go to the World Series. If they win that, they're the champions.
They go to the moon, Alice.
They're the champions. The season's over. That's it.
Yeah.
Now we have to wait for next season, hope that the team could do something again. We're waiting, we're hoping that that's how it works out.
That's what I'm doing. I'm waiting and hoping this works out.
AEW's talent, Tony, their fan base, their, most hardcore fans, we're hoping that this media rights deal would come and it would be a big increase and it'd be able to show something. And they got a lot of what they wanted.
Yes.
Now, a lot of us acknowledged they were going to get a renewal, but they want to pretend like we were, they're going to be canceled tomorrow. But
as I said, I think on the last show, we've pretty much established the bar is set low enough that even this programming can find a home on television when its owner is rich enough. Go ahead.
Well, how low things are going to go is kind of my question. Their World Series was getting that media rights deal, and now they got it. And the spirit again, it was a weird show, and we'll get to reviewing the whole show, but just talking about everything overall right now. It was a Dynamite on a Tuesday at a weird hour, and the lineup was fucking bizarre for a go-home show.
It was a show encouraging people to go home, all right,
But now that you got the media rights deal, are there going to be a lot of big wins in the near future? Are there going to be a lot of big things to rally behind? Are there going to be a lot of things that, because there hasn't been any, the media rights deal coincided with everything going down. Everything. And that hasn't stopped. There aren't signs that it will stop yet. And Tony's booking hasn't shown any signs that it will ever improve. Are there going to be a lot of big moments for AEW to cheer over the next year or two, as they have their media rights deal and as things continue to transpire?
Okay, and I know some people are going to say, and they say they're going to get a show on Fox. And I think they're on Fox, by the way, for a shoot. Have you heard AEW is on Fox in Mexico?
In Mexico.
Yes.
Watch out, Paco Alonso.
And they're coming for you, baby. Well, they've got, most of the same style of talent, but nevertheless, I'm saying, as we've talked about FS1 or whatever, if they've got another show, but then they have to produce another show. Yes, they're dropping Rampage, but somebody should have long before now. Even they have quit caring about Rampage. So how much programming can they produce? But the point is, this is the big rights deal. Wherever they go from here, I don't believe is going to be as big or bigger than this. So that news has been given. What they're going to be doing now, pretty much to me, to anytime they make one of their major, in their world, major news, breaks, is signing somebody. And now that he's been willing to spend this much money up until this point, right? So now that they're going to give him more money, he's going. You've been saying this. He's going to turn around and spend more money on signing people for however much he needs to pay them to get them. And so then it's going to be the big news, the big event. And then, of course, as we've seen, anybody from Mercedes Moon to Okodi to whoever they've signed that. Remember when Saraya was going to be the turnaround of the women's division? And then everybody turned around and said, fuck you. But they only last a week or two or 3 or 4. Osprey stayed pretty good because he's a wonderful young, tousle-haired fellow. But most of them, I think that's what they're going to make news with their fans with, is big signings from here on out. But what's going to happen to all those people? And he's already got all these people. And you don't ever see half of these people.
Again, 290 people over 2 years.
Yeah, from the other court documentation.
That's a lot of people.
There's a lot of wrestlers to pay, mouths to feed. But the point is, in you're when you're getting a deal like that, you know that there's times. Do you see any of these guys going out and working a lot of independents? And I'm not talking about the main event guys who shouldn't be risking their health and at this stage of the game, or with their age, or because of their importance to the company. But I'm talking about the middle card and under guys that you don't see wrestling on these television shows ever. They hide them on Rampage, or just they don't work for long stretches. I know some are injured or whatever, but a lot of other ones have to be just sitting around going, well, I'm getting paid a exorbitant amount of money. Why fucking bother?
See, WWE fans know right now they have a bunch of things to look forward to. The Cena retirement tour, WrestleMania, the build up to that. Rock has two natural feuds. Either they're going to each get a separate run, or they're going to jam everyone together in a three-way match to give Rock a chance to breathe. He's very, very muscular for his age. AEW, that's what I'm saying.
I thought you were going to say he's very, very short of breath.
AEW, that's the problem. They could sign WWE guys, and I hate to say it, I mean, it sounds crazy, but at this point, the best thing for them is kind of the Eric Bischoff Nitro philosophy. Sign everyone you can. Just bring all of their stars over here. The trick is you got to develop your own stars at some point. They never can. They never do. We'll talk about Daniel Garcia later. Boy, if that's what they're developing, there isn't a lot to look forward to in the future for an audience that, if you just go on live, attendance keeps going down. Very rarely. I think Pittsburgh was the only market they went up in. Everything else is just down, 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 down. They're about to go to Max. They have the chance to reach new people. But again, once you get people in the door, you have to hope that they'll want to come back. You have to give them something they want. With AEW, so much of it from the beginning has been fans willing it to be. They rooted for the concept, the idea. They're against Vince. WWE's the enemy. Things changed since then. What do they really have to root for now?
Well, here's another thing that they've got working against them that Bischoff didn't have, was Vince is not in charge anymore. And in 1997, 98, Vince was just figuring out, he would start talking to guys about contracts, 3 months, right? And if that, and sometimes believe people, whatever. These people, if you're a year and a half away from being done, I believe in some cases they talk to people. They're not going to let that many people that they give two shits whether they have or not become available, because the fewer that they give them, that unless they just don't want somebody at all, the less chance that Tony has to raise the salary structure by trying to offer so-and-so and such, $15 million or whatever.
It's also the legends. I think that's one of those things at the big events where we've seen them have, legends playing musical chairs. They're there and then they disappear. We don't know where they go. If they're signing legends deals or whatever they're doing with WWE, that means these are people that AEW, not that they're really using legends, but it just takes more people off the board.
Well, not that they're using legends. Jeez, Jake came out and stood there.
Let's talk about Jake when we get to the Dynamite review.
I know, but I'm just saying, Kevin, have you ever seen a more legendary guy standing there?
That's the point. They didn't use a legend. They had a legend stand there. That's different than using him or having him do anything.
But I saw him standing there. Well, Jake looked at me, and I couldn't believe that they paid him to show up and do this.
Even the Goldberg thing with Gunther, if it goes nowhere, they did something with Goldberg that stood out on that event. There's another guy just off the board for Tony.
Yes, and there's the new regime established a little relationship with Goldberg. I'm sure they had conversations. Again, I don't believe we're going to be seeing Gunther and Goldberg, but we might see more of Goldberg, whether it's a match or not. And that's just, again, they're trying to get all of the names, not only people that were big names for the WWE, but also that are names in the catalogs that they own. WCW and ECW and whatever the fuck. More to come.
If you're a celebrity right now and you just want really great tickets and the ability to maybe even do an angle, just say you're a big wrestling fan.
Yes.
And they'll use you to the best of their abilities.
Or AEW will use you to the worst of their abilities, but you still get on the wrestling show. Good Lord.
We'll talk about the TV shows in a little while and the state of AEW and NXT, both of WWE's developmental territories. But Jim, with all this wrestling on,
yes,
with all this baseball on, the exciting run of the Mets continues. There's lots of reasons to want to call somebody. And if you're going to do that, why spend too much money? Why not get a great plan?
Well, that's exact because the big cat Ernie Ladd didn't say, I want you to get on your telephone and call somebody at high prices. He didn't say that. He said, I want you to get on your telephone and call somebody and tell them that Mint Mobile is here to rescue you, you big dummy, with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month, because all of their plans, and they're good plans, they have mulled over them plans. And they're going to come with the high-speed data. They're going to come with the unlimited talk and text. And it's going to be delivered to you in your greasy hands on the nation's largest 5G network. So, right now, folks, you got to ditch the overpriced wireless. You got to stop wasting your money spreading it around on the ground and walking and stalking all over it. Taking advantage from Ernie the Cat Lad, who's 6'9", 325 pounds, and he covers the ground he walks on. To get this new customer offer from Mint Mobile and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for $15 a month, you got to go to mintmobile.com/JCE. Run over and knock down your mother if you have to go to mintmobile.com/JCE to cut your wireless bill to $15 a month. Don't be a big dummy.
Hey, Ernie, is that King Kong Bundy in the corner?
Bundy, you big fat piece of shit. We bring you in here. We bring guys in to get you over, and what do? You dumb yourself right out of position.
Well, don't dumb yourself out of position. Get a good phone plan with Mint Mobile, endorsed by not Ernie Ladd over here. Once again, what's that promo code? You.
MintMobile.com/JCE, and remember, a $45 upfront payment is required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 GB on the unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for the details.